What's happening, you bad motherfuckers? It's Tuesday, December the 3rd. This is the church, the New Testament. Today, I got a friend coming on here. I've known him forever. His name is Lucio Fernandez. We're going to cover a couple of little situations here. Lee's here. His feet are dangling off the little fucking chair like a little kid in the back seat. I got to give him a French fry from Wendy's, and that's it. We're here. Let's get this party started. What's up, you bad motherfuckers? Uncle Joey back here with my buddy Lucio, Lee Syatt. What's up, Lucio?
What's up, Joey? Thanks for having me, man.
Oh, anytime. Lucio, how far back do we go?
Oh my God! Since you came to McKinley School, 6th grade or something, you came in 5th, 6th grade. I don't remember.
6th grade.
6th grade. That's how far back.
Now you were in the class with me, Levito?
No, man. It's so funny about that. I wasn't in 6th grade. No, I was in Miss Grabowski.
Miss Grabowski.
Miss Grabowski. Okay. And then Miss Grabowski got me to skip 7th grade. No shit.
And they put you in the 8th grade?
I skipped 7th grade. I remember towards the spring, I had to take a couple of classes with the 7th graders so I could skip 7th, but I went right to 8th grade.
Wow.
So I've known you a long time, except you're like 300 years older than me. I'm much younger than you.
I don't know. You're younger than I am. I still remember you at my house lifting weights.
Dude,
you remember
you want me to tell the story about lifting weights with you? We were training. There was some karate guy that hung out with you. I forgot his name. Some crazy karate guy. Always wear white tank tops. You know, like the guinea tees. Always wear a white tank top. And we would work out of your house, and you were supposed to be spotting me. He was supposed to be spotting me. I don't know where he went, but those weights fell right on my head. And I look, and I'm in pain, and he's over there in the corner cracking up with the and the karate guy was lost. He was like, "What is going on here?"
Who the fuck was the karate guy? I can't remember his name with the white T-shirt.
Always wear a white tank top. Always,
oh my God. I hung out with so many crazy karate guys.
I was going to say, you would tell stories about, like, he had basically had a karate fight club for a little bit, didn't you?
But that was in North Bergen with a kid named Mario Diaz. There was a Chinese-Cuban kid. His name was Mario Diaz. His father was a doctor. And I think Mario Diaz went to Fujia Pai Kung Fu. I went to Ishin-Ryu in Union City on New York Avenue.
35th Street.
No? Before, when we were kids, there was Fujia Pai Kung Fu, and then there was Ishin-Ryu Karate. Kevin Norlander, Wayne Norlander, he was on 16th Street in New York Avenue.
I remember that.
The guy used to check your report cards. If you fucking got a B or a C, he would make you do jumping jacks and then put you on the side, and you had to do homework while everybody was flying through the air. It was fucking tremendous.
I remember.
It was tremendous. But we had, we're talking about North Bergen, right? We went to North Bergen first. When did you leave McKinley?
I graduated from McKinley in 77.
Okay.
And I didn't want to go. I wanted to stay in North Bergen. I had it all set up to go to North Bergen High School. I was going to be playing baseball over there. I was going to be playing basketball. I was going to be running track. And all of a sudden, my mom and dad said, "No, we're moving to Union City." I couldn't believe it. My whole life fell apart. So in 77, that summer of 77, we packed our bags and moved to Union City.
Wow.
Big change.
And what school did you go to Union City High School?
I went to Union Hill. Okay. Union Hill High School. It was different. Union Hill, it was different. It was all mostly Hispanic, but it was a whole different ballgame. In McKinley School, the teachers really cared. They cared. They wanted you to learn. They were, you talked about, when you had Mr. Barone here your last episode, Mr. Yes. Barone. You talked about Mr. Agresta. You talked about, Mr. Miss.
Mr. Miss.
These people cared. I have a great story about Mr. Miss. Mr. Miss was the best.
Mr. Miss was in the class with us one day because one of our teachers got sick or something. And Mr. Miss was a good-looking blonde dude. The girls loved him. He looked just like Robert Redford with a mustache. He was yoked, and he was okay. And one day, he was the teacher. They put both 8th grades together. And they said, "We need to talk to you about something. We have an organization that wants to talk to you kids about helping them out." Okay. Mr. Miss comes in with the white dude. The white dude opens up his briefcase. I'll never forget this. Opens up his briefcase, and he starts taking notes on it. And he goes, "How you doing, boys and girls? I'm here to talk to you about a disease that's hitting kids. They can't walk. You start walking, something fucked up." But then he goes, "And they can only move 3 steps per every 30 minutes. And the guy goes, do we have any ideas on how we could take care of this? And Richie Colombo or somebody raised their hand. He goes, give them roller skates. And the guy looked down, closed the suitcase, went, I'll never forget that. He goes, they told me not to talk to this class. That was one of the last times. Now, I don't know when was the last time I saw Mr. Miss. What's your Mr. Miss story?
Mr. Miss he was a holler. Like you say, he was a good-looking guy, strong, and he became the basketball coach. And man, we were great in basketball, street basketball. We played at the court on 28th Street.
28th Street all the time.
We played there all the time. David Ruiz, myself, a bunch of us. We
Lefty.
played there. Yeah, Lefty. Chucky used to come up
Chucky
once in a while.
McGreen
He was
would
really,
come up,
really. He was really tiny. Remember Chucky? How tiny he was.
He's still
But
tiny.
he was fast, man.
Yeah,
he was
he was
fast and he was
fucking
good,
fast.
very good. Anyway, so Mr. Miss comes in to coach us. And we were great at street basketball, but when we got in a court, man, we stunk. I remember one game they called the 3-second penalty on me like 10 times. We didn't know how to play in the court. We never practiced. I remember we used to say, let's go practice at Kennedy School down on 10th Street. And we used to walk down there in the rain, the snow, it didn't matter.
Outside. I
No,
told you
no
that. We
coach,
practiced
nothing. We
outside.
suffered. If anything, one time a week. So we were playing against all these other schools and we stunk. But Mr. Miss said, listen, wait, no. We would start winning. Every game we were winning by halftime. And then we would lose every single game. We lost every game. But Mr. Miss said, you guys dress up. Dress up. We'll get all the girls. You guys will get all the girls. Just dress up. Doesn't matter how bad you play. You guys will look good. And that's what we did. With our little polyester shirts on and whatnot, the bell bottoms and stuff. And we'd go there and pick up the girls. That's what we did.
Who was on your team then?
Oh, man. I know David Ruiz. I don't know if Martincito played. You remember Martin?
Chucky? Sure. I still talk to Martin.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And I don't know if Martin played. I know Chucky played.
Peter Jimenez, maybe?
I don't remember.
Peter? What? We had some crazy motherfuckers in that school. Now, it's funny that, listen, basically we're both from Union City.
Right.
I grew up in North Bergen. I went to high school and grammar school for a few years, but I've been going to Union City since I was in fucking diapers, And I went to El Cortadito. This is how this whole shit started with you. I went to El Cortadito one day, and I'm there with my daughter, and, you're sitting outside. It's 80 degrees, and I'm looking around, and I see this building. I'm like, I know that fucking building. I keep looking at it and looking at it, and I go, that's where my father died. North Hudson
Hospital.
Across the street from the Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
And I went on a ride with my daughter. I'm like, bro, I know a lot about Union City. Like, I was here when 48th Street was just cigars going down the street.
Yeah.
It was just cigar shops. Fucking cigar shops. If you went from Bergen Line down to like Palisade or New York Avenue, whatever the fuck it was. I mean.
You had the Colony Theater on 48th Street. Remember?
The Colony Theater on 48th Street. We had that other theater. I didn't even know this. That fucking, what's the comedian, the old guy with the cigar?
George Burns at the Hudson Theater.
He met
Hudson
Gracie
Burlesque.
Burns in Union City at the Hudson Theater. Your grandmother, his grandmother grew up in Union City. She's telling me a story once that she used to talk to Fidel while she was waiting on the bus. Fidel would come up to her and talk to her. And she goes, I didn't know this fucking guy was, but he was a gentleman. She goes, I figured out years later he was Fidel. Like, Fidel started his revolution in Union City.
He has some meeting on 26th Street or
Yes.
20-something. So he had a meeting with some people down there.
Yeah.
I don't know where.
And he got arrested.
Yeah.
He got arrested in Union City.
Fidel, you're talking about Fidel Castro?
Fidel
Yes.
Castro.
What was he doing in Union City?
That's where the revolution started. Union City, whatever part of Florida, where Tampa was or some shit like that, and Miami, when they were going to do the Bay of Pigs and all that. Oh, before the Bay of Pigs, when he was
Before
going
the
to
Bay
take
of Pigs,
over Batista's fucking job. But that all went down.
Are you Cuban as well?
Yes.
It's not my fault. I was born there.
I know. Oh, you were born there too.
I was born there, yeah.
Because I was driving back from Jersey the other day, and you had told me, Joey, that like you moved, like your mom moved here partially because of like the sewing industry.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they had a sign right at the Lincoln Tunnel, like New Jersey, the home of
Embroidery.
embroidery
The
since like
embroidery
1837.
capital of the fucking
That was
country.
true.
From the 1800s.
You know why?
Why?
The German machines, the Schiffley machines, they had to stand in solid rock. And the only area that had this solid rock, bluestone, Union City is based on bluestones. So that's the only place like they can anchor these, 2-ton machines. So the embroidery industry grew in Union City and West New York. It was huge. They did all the patches worldwide. Everything came from Union City, West New York. Union City was the embroidery capital of the world. It's also the burlesque capital of the world.
The burlesque capital of the world. Too.
Yeah.
Do they need to reinforce it for that? Too?
They don't have no burlesque clubs no more, right?
No. You know how many? There was a lot of theaters in Union City. You had the cinema. You remember the cinema?
Coño.
The Hippodrome, the Lincoln Theater, the Twin State, which was on 40th, which CVS is on 48th and Bergen Line. The Colony Theater. You had theaters all over Union City, and there was a lot of people that started in Union City. You know, Frank Sinatra, when he was with the group before he went solo,
Right,
they sang at the Lincoln Theater on 32nd Street with Davis. You remember Davis Toy Store on Bergen Line Avenue and 32nd Street?
It was right there. That street.
Around the
right
corner
there.
where Mi Bandera was, that used to be a theater, the Lincoln Theater. Okay, before it became years and years ago, not the Park Theater, Lincoln Theater. And there you had all these big stars that performed there.
Now, the Park Theater is by the 4-Star Diner.
Right.
The best BLT for fucking years. My mother would stop there
Yeah,
at
it's a
3 in the
great
morning
place.
and get me a BLT and shit.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
How do you have the best meal? Just really good bacon?
There's really good tomatoes.
Okay.
Thick bacon, like back in the, now it's
could go
probably
for
like everybody
BLT.
else. It's
The best
fucking hog and it's
turkey
like,
club. Oh my God, the turkey club there.
What's that?
The turkey club.
The turkey club
They
is
made
still
turkey
good?
club. No, the turkey club sandwich there. No, they just closed. The diner closed about a year ago.
Really?
Yeah, diner closed.
And my florist across the street closed. I had a florist. I'd go in there and bring flowers to my mother. I went in there. We're in Colombia. We're never coming back. I said, okay. That's how it works out. But it's so funny how, like, I was driving that day with my daughter, and I started telling her, like I don't remember nothing about Union City until my father died. And then I remember we lived across the street from the grammar school on 29th and Central. Behind that, Robert Waters. I lived on that street. We had a garage and the whole thing. And then after that, I don't know what happened. And then we ended up in New York City. But my mother always had that bar in Union City. So wherever she went, I went. There was no fucking daycares.
You know who lived around the corner from you? You're gonna die. Tony Orlando.
In Marlboro?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Union City.
Originally,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Tony Orlando was from Union City, New Jersey. I mean, it's just fucking insane, And then I would just go visit, and I would walk. Because my mother had 29th Street, so it covered from 29th to 48th.
Right.
She would go, don't go past 48th Street. And you walk back and forth. But 48th Street, when we were growing up, we had our own little world there. I mean, Union City was probably one of the most unique little towns. Like, I could tell you 1,000 Saturdays that we went to the cinema. Like, the cinema is where I saw The Longest Yard.
Right.
It's where I saw Rocky. It's where I saw Tommy. I saw Bruce Lee. Fuck! They always had the midnight show.
Yeah.
And then you walk down Bergen Line, and you had Ponte Corvo fruit next to the
Yeah,
toy store.
that's right.
With a load of boxes.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Davis Toy
and we
Store.
would
There you
beat the
go.
fuck out of boxes. They'd be all over Bergen
Yeah.
Line. And then we'd run away because we thought the cops were going to chase. There was no fucking cops. Fucking crazy. And there was a go-go bar there. Right on 32nd
Yeah,
Street.
yeah.
Now, when I first remember being at my mother's bar, there was an Italian deli across the street. This is 66, 67, 68, that I would go over and they'd pick me up. And I'd stick my hand and he'd always give me an apple or a fruit or an orange or some shit. I didn't want no fucking orange. I wanted the candy. He had things of candy. Then he left and the New Moon Chinese restaurant moved in there.
Oh, wow.
Like, there was just so many things. But the thing that sticks in my head the most about Union City was when I was about 7, 2 kids got kidnapped. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
When I was about 7, 2 kids got abducted by the towers, some tower in Union, Troy Towers or something like that, somewhere down Edison School. I don't even know if Edison School still exists.
No, that still exists.
Does it?
Yeah,
Good
I think
basketball
it was,
down there.
I think it was on 7th, right off of.
Right down there.
Yeah, right
And
off
then
of
they
Summit
found
Avenue.
the kids dead.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that just because I went to my mother's bar and I did all these things in Union City, I felt like I had to go. And I told my mom, I'm going to their wake. And she's like, what are you, fucking crazy? I go, I got to go. And when I went down, it had to be 2,000 people. And I'll never forget that I was like, this is Union City. This is real. These people fucking are out. And they're going to find this motherfucker and kill him when they do, And then I remember that fire on 28th and Bergen Line. There was a bodega up the block from Hernandez, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
School these motherfuckers on the art of Cuban sandwiches. Yeah, these motherfuckers don't know nothing. And that burnt down overnight during the holidays. And I still remember going to my mother's bar, and the front was just filled with clothes, and people were giving money. And I don't, I don't know how old I was, but he had 2 boys my age. 1993, I moved with George. I come back here, and I go to a gym in North Bergen. They own the gym. I paid for the membership, and they were like, "You're Denora's son?" Yeah. They go, "Here's your money. You remember when you took care of us in Union
Wow,
City
they
when
remember,
we were
huh?
kids?" They fucking remember. They go, "You work out here for free, and we'll fucking train you."
Wow.
And that was all from fucking Union City. Like Union City, it's a small but a powerful little goddamn place.
Union City is a great city. It's
Yes,
a great little city. It's a great, and for the longest time, we were the most densely populated city in the whole country. Into just a couple of years ago, that Gothenburg became the most densely populated city in the whole United States. But Union City forever was the most densely populated city in the country.
Now, does Gothenburg still have the record for the most bars per capita?
I have no idea.
I'm just blown away because you guys kind of like look alike. But like you guys have almost like the same beginning, and then like you come and you have the little thing in the suit jacket. Like you guys started almost exactly the same, and then like I can't. It's so crazy. You guys came from the same place.
Oh, it's going to get better, cocksucker. So you graduated Union Hill. Where'd you go?
When I graduated Union Hill, I went to Rutgers. And I was going to go to New Brunswick, and then all of a sudden I was already working in New York. So I said, let me stay in Newark so I can work in New York. So I was working in New York.
Now, what were you doing in New York?
I was acting. I was an actor.
There you
Holy
go.
I was an
shit.
actor, yeah. I never thought in a million years, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a baseball player. And then all of a sudden, I'm going to date myself. In freshman year in high school, I won a dance competition. Disco was big. So I won a disco championship in New Jersey and New York. So that got me onto Soul Factory Disco. You remember Soul Factory?
Sure.
So that got me on the
I just
TV.
drove past it.
So they got me on that TV show. And it's so funny because I used to go to Soul Factory Disco. I was underage. And I remember my cousin used to wait for me outside by the side door, and he was, give me his ID so I can go around and come in using his ID. And I was young. I was like, whatever, 14. So anyway, I got into the TV show. And every week I was on Soul Factory Disco. Sometimes I was featured, sometimes I was just a crowd, but I was on the show. And this is freshman year in high school in Union Hill. Nobody saw me.
I didn't see it.
Nobody like guided me to show business or anything. Nobody. I kind of sort of tripped into it.
Can you just explain what Soul Factory? It sounds like it was like what was that, Love Train, or what was that, Soul Train?
It was like Soul Train, American Bandstand, or something like that.
And it was just disco music, and you were just
disco
dancing
music.
the whole time?
And then you saw Karen Young. You remember Karen Young would come on, and the Commodores, and all these people come and perform. Lip sync, but they would perform in this little states that they had, and we were just dancing. And sometimes they had. I got featured because I won the state, And there I met this couple, Jeff and Donna Shelley. They were a dance team, and I started taking dance classes with them. And then that was the beginning. And then I got into. Then when I went to Rutgers, this kid that went to Union Hill with me said, "Listen, I was going to be an engineer." He goes, I want to take you somewhere." I said, "Where?" Took me to Rutgers, the Black Box Theater in Rutgers, Newark. I saw the Black Box Theater. I said, "Man, that's what I want to do. I want to act." Within a year's time, I was signed in New York. I was trying to do soaps and all that. I couldn't act to save my life. I couldn't dance. I couldn't sing. I had no ability, but I had the desire.
Obviously, you could fucking dance.
Yeah.
So I got into all these shows, and I got into the soaps. I did a bunch of films. I did a bunch of soaps. I did a bunch of musicals and plays and the whole bit, and that took me all over the world. That's what I did for a long time. For a very long time.
That's insane. Huh?
Sounds like you were pretty good at it.
Yeah.
I was all right. I was willing to stand on my head. The director said, "Do this," and I would just do it. I had, and plus I was athletic. So, you're athletic in the musical theater world, and so you're dancing masculine. They want people who dance masculine. So I did West Side Story for 5.5 years of my life, every day, every major production. I did Chorus Line. I did Jesus Christ Superstar. I did Guys and Dolls.
Were you on Broadway or where?
I did the Broadway national tours.
Oh, so like the one that would travel around to the cities?
Yeah, so I did, for West Side Story, I did the European company, the national company, the world tour, the European tour, the Paris company, the Japan company. We were supposed to come to Broadway. And then
You did West Side Story in Japan?
I did West Side Story 5.5 years of my life, every single day, 8 shows a week.
Could you still do it right now? 8 shows. I can't imagine doing 8 shows a week.
Man, it felt when you got off the tour, it felt like you have been to war. Everything hurt. Everything. My knees, my back, I played Chino in West Side Story, so I was shooting the gun. So I had tendonitis on my elbow from shooting the gun every night.
Fucking doing
But it was a
plays.
lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
It's a lot of work.
It was a lot of
And
work.
a lot of commitment.
People
And
don't realize it.
people have no idea what goes into theater. Like, I've gotten auditions here for theater. And I'm like, they better not call me.
No.
They better not fucking call me because they wanted me to do whatever, Guys and Dolls, 2 years ago at the
You'll be
Kennedy
great.
Center.
You'll be great in Guys
For the
and
one
Dolls.
guy, the
Yeah.
crazy guy, and I was like, I don't know. And the guy called me up. Listen, we really want you to do it, but we rehearse twice a day till fucking St. Smidgen's Day. And I was like,
I did Guys and Dolls with Lorna Luft. You remember Lorna Luft?
I remember the name.
Liza Minnelli's sister.
Okay, Lorna Love.
Lorna Luft. I did it with. You remember Steve, the guy who plays Steve in Married with Children?
Yeah.
He was in the company I did. You remember? Oh, Fish. You remember Fish? What's his name?
Abe Pagoda.
Abe Pagoda. He came in. They had to let him go. He couldn't do the role.
No, he's too old. You got to remember.
This is years ago. This is.
And I know he can't dance.
No.
'Cause He was 100 when he did The Godfather. He was 100 when he did The Godfather.
Yeah.
I just seen it at a restaurant. They always play Italian movies, and there was a part when he asked, "What's his name? Who gives a fuck?" But he was old then.
So when I went to Rutgers, I was doing all the stuff in New York, and ICM signed me for a commercial. So I would do all these commercials and stuff, So I was making a living at it, and that's all I did for a long time, and then until I ended up back in Union City somehow.
So you have your SAG card and everything.
Yeah, I got SAG-AFTRA and equity, everything for forever.
Equity too. I don't even have a fucking equity. After it's done, they're like mixed with SAG now.
Yeah.
So
It's not the
sucks.
same.
It's not the same.
So I mean, you've done. So I guess have you ever done plays, Joey? Like, have you
All
done
the
plays?
time. You saw me doing fucking the King and I when I was flying.
Like what one was your favorite, Lucio? Between all of them, between plays.
The most I mean, probably West Side Story.
Oh no, but like between plays, like commercials, TV.
Plays.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was a lot. When I was at Rutgers, that's what I studied. Theater. I wanted to be a theater actor. I never thought in a million years I was going to become a film producer and stuff like that. That was not my thing. My thing was going to be, I was a serious actor. In fact, I worked at, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Spanish Repertory Theater in New York. I worked there for 3.5 years. It's the premier Hispanic speaking theater in New York. And I worked there as a lead actor for 3.5 years. And did everything. It's a repertory company. So on any given weekend, 1 weekend in 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I did 5 different plays.
What?
So it's a true repertory company. So you're learning all these plays at once. You can be doing a classical play, a Lorca play, and then you do a contemporary play, all in Spanish. It's insane. When I got off a tour, I had just met my wife. And I turned down all these tours. And I started working a Spanish rep. The first script I got in Spanish, I was like, what? And my wife is, American. And she had to help me learn the script. Phonetically, I didn't know what I was reading. I never read in Spanish, So I was there for 3.5 years, and it helped me out for later on when I, becoming a commissioner and stuff like that. It helped me because then I was bilingual, That helped a lot.
I could speak Spanish. I could read Spanish. I could write a little Spanish, but Spanish auditions, I just tap out. I tell them I'm not interested. I can't because listen, there was a show on in the late 90s on Telemundo. It was a Cuban family, not
¿Qué pasa USA?
No, this was one that came later. And one day I got a call from my agent. He goes, go in there and read. They want you to read for the Cuban door guy. Well, I go down there, and there's all these Cuban people, and they're very nice, but they ain't Cubans like us. Okay? So I'll never forget, I read the role, booked it, went on the next day, and during rehearsal, I said a line, and they all were like, like they were fucking up-de-duty Cubans, right? And then we started doing the scene, and they all had problems, like that they were too fucking emotional, and he's not doing it right. La palabra esta. And I went to lunch, and they called me at lunch and said, you got fired, but they got to pay for your after card. I said, fine, fuck it. $1,000 they took out of my future. And then about 20 years later, during COVID, I'm walking at that park.
Okay.
Where they did all the rallies by our house. And during COVID, the guy that played the cousin on the George Lopez show, he was on the show then as an actor. And he came over to me and goes, hey, man, I just want you to know, I haven't seen you since that day, but it wasn't me who got you fired. It was those other fucking Cubans. They had this stick up their asses. And I was like, okay, good to know. I don't give a fuck. I'll never read again. But that's why, because my Spanish is completely different than their Spanish. And when I say a weird Union City word, they fucking lose it.
Because we grew up speaking Spanglish. We spoke Spanglish.
But I spoke that shit that they came with you from the revolution.
Yeah.
Those people spoke differently. They cooked differently. They acted
absolutely.
differently.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a different fucking world. And it's still embedded in, like, it's still in my fucking soul how those guys walked around and how they and I don't know. It just, I can't. I've tried even, they always make me read the fucking Mexicans and Colombians. I get one Cuban and, it's not going to work. Like, it just doesn't work. I don't know what the fuck it is.
I remember when Scarface came out.
Okay.
And I said, where are the Cubans? I know Stephen Bauer is in it. He's the only Cuban. But where are the Cubans? There's a ton of Cubans everywhere. The Cuban nuances were not there. I mean, Pacino tried, his best. And it's a cult classic. But where are the Cuban nuances, that the machismo, the way that the Cubans talked, the way my stepdad talked, your dad talked, and the Cubans growing up in Union City were different. They're tough. They were tough, but it wasn't just the way they looked. You know what I mean? It was a whole different kind of Cuban, and that wasn't represented in the film.
Well, when they was getting ready for that film, it was little Angel Salazar, God rest his soul, that kind of prepped Pacino for a lot of stuff. But it got so bad that they didn't have no Cubans, that when they're working in the fucking in the coffee shop, and he quits. Remember that scene
I remember
when
that.
they quit?
I remember that.
Right before that scene, there's a guy who comes up and says, Oye, hacer, ponle más jamón. You don't remember that,
I remember that
right?
scene perfectly. Yeah.
That's Angel Salazar, off camera, doing the
Oh,
voice.
really?
Yeah, they had no Cubans. And in their defense, you had Angel and the other guy. What a lot of people don't know is that movie was cast in Miami, but really shot in L.A. That's what I didn't know, that nobody knew. Over the years in L.A., I kept meeting people from Scarface, and I would ask them questions. In fact, I shot a movie with Pepe Cerna, the guy that they cut his arm off.
Yeah.
And he told me he stole the extra arm, and he sold it for $75,000. The whole fucking thing. But he was telling me what happened. They were down there in Miami, and the Cubans shut them out. So they had to shut down, pay everybody for 6 months.
I remember
and
that.
go to California and start all over again. Like Tent City. I thought that was Miami.
Yeah, it
That's
wasn't.
under the 405. The house, when he goes to the mother's house, that's a little house by the airport in LAX.
Wow.
Like where they put fucking migrants or whatever the fuck they I don't know what they do. But all that stuff was LA. And then the two guys that shoot Tony in the disco, the one guy was my buddy. And he told me the whole story. He was an extra. He was doing extra work for the holidays to pick up money. And fucking, he was at the table getting coffee. And the director came up to him, or Brian De Palma came up to him and said, hey, what are you in this? And he goes, I'm a waiter. He goes, fuck that, you're a hitman now. And it made him an actor. He was always an extra. That was his first acting role.
Wow.
So he was telling me how they just had a lot of problems with that movie. They finished that, but that last scene, the shooting scene, did you ever know about that?
No.
That's Steven Spielberg.
Oh, really?
They were in Miami for a fucking director's conference. If you see who was shooting in they had like 10 cameras. So Brian said, every director come down here and get on a fucking camera and shoot. All those motherfuckers are in there.
Really?
All of
I
them.
had no idea.
Because there was a director's convention for like a week in Florida, something like that. But that's what the defense was on that. But listen, if you go to Hollywood, people get pissed all the time. Look at fucking Major League. They put Serrano. He ended up being the president of the United States on that fucking show. What? There's no other Cuban, But casting is fucking a different world.
But the movie became a cult classic.
Cult classic.
It made a ton of money. Ton of money.
And it came out on December 25th. Did you know that?
I had no
Scarface
idea.
got released on Christmas fucking Day. So people were going to the movies thinking it was a family fucking movie. Did you see the premiere? Go on
Oh,
YouTube.
man.
The premiere,
I gotta see that.
the funniest was the lady from Dynasty. When they said to her, "You leaving?" And she goes, "I've heard enough fucks for a lifetime."
But there was a lot of iconic things. When Michelle Pfeiffer comes down in the elevator, the one shot is beautiful.
Beautiful.
The one scene in the when he's completely stoned out of his mind and he's talking to her, look at you, have a whatever as
You're
a wife,
fucking junkie and all this shit.
That scene was just unbelievable. So many great scenes.
It's a fucking great movie.
Yeah, it's a great film. It's a great film.
And I don't know. I remember when that movie came out, how it changed this area. Union City, listen, man, when you look at the statistics and shit, like the Cubans took it over, like you were talking about the Germans and the Dutch, and there was Indians there.
Yeah.
And then the Cubans started coming in like in 50, before the revolution, And they just built this beautiful little fucking community. They really worked hard.
When the Cubans came, Burgerland Avenue, there was no Burgerland Avenue. There was nothing. All the stores were closed. You had a bunch of Italians selling fruit from the fruit carts. My dad told me, my dad came in 65. He goes, Burgerland Avenue, all the shops were pretty much closed. The Cubans built it up. As the Italians moved out, we still had some Italians growing up in North
ton of
Bergen.
Italians.
Italians
Good
and
fucking food.
Irish and Germans, some
Yeah.
Greeks, And but Burgerland Avenue was the Cubans built it up. All of Union City, all the embroidery that stayed for a long time because of the Cubans.
Do you remember Barbero Angelito?
Angelito, yeah, what was
He was
that?
across the street from the cinema. So if you were lucky, your
Yeah.
mom would give you $10 and you go see Angelito first. You'd sit in his chair. From the minute you sat down, Angelito made a fucking spectacle. His haircuts weren't good, but when you left there, you thought you were fucking Cary Grant. Okay, because he do the fucking thing, and then he'd do like dust and shit, and then he'd be cutting your hair, and he'd go, "Mira que lindo," and he'd start with that. Oye, parece una tita, and he'd just be cutting your hair. No, muy está. Como dice un americano, muy está. And then he would fucking keep combing it, and at the end, even though a lump was long on the other, he put some spit on it, and he put purple lights on.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
he
remember the lights?
Remember the lights?
Oh, my God.
This
Yeah, the
motherfucker
lights.
sold you on the optical illusion.
It gives you shines.
And
gives
then
you
he put
special
like disco
shine.
music on, and he'd move with you, and you're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, that looked good." And you get home, your hair's all fucked up. You're like, "Fuck it, I ain't going back up
It
there."
all it was is like one of those floodlights with color in it. And he goes, give you special shine.
Why would you go
start-
Why would you go back? If it looked that bad, after like the second or third time,
Because you
just-
bought it. You drank
Because
the, you drank the Kool-Aid.
It was the scene, man.
Yeah.
It wasn't the hairdo. You were paying for the scene. And then there'd be Cuban dudes there talking about ese huevo quiere sal, and about,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
were
yeah.
like 8, and they'd be talking about women. Mira, I'd fucking do this. And you're like, "Oh my God, these guys are fucking savages." Savages. Pastor music.
Pastor music, that closed a couple of years ago.
Fuck, and when I was a kid, it was 3 floors.
Yeah.
And then every time I came back, it would go to 2 floors, 1 floor, and then there was a strip club, not a strip club, it should have been a strip club. There was a club there in the 90s called the Players Club.
Yeah, where was that? Where was the place?
Right next to Pastor. They
Yeah, that's right. That's
They
right.
did
that's
comedy
right.
there
And
on
then became a
Tuesdays.
karate school. Yeah, I remember.
And I went up there one day, and there was 20 hookers. I got like $20 to do the show. There had to be 20 hookers up there. And one of them was a North Bergen girl. I remember I was like, "Dog, I know your sister."
Oh my God. Oh my God.
So can you guys explain? Because I have no idea, but like you both both born in Cuba.
Yeah.
Like what is it like? It's crazy. Like you both like Scarface. Like all these. What does it mean to you to be from Cuba like that? How does that change your life, or how does it play into your life now? It seems like you guys have a lot of similar stories.
Go ahead, Lucia.
Growing up in Cuba, but I mean, you're born in Cuba, but you're raised in an area where you have this mix of all kinds of people. Like I said just before, we had the Italians, we had Germans, we had the Irish, and everybody called each other names, but everybody got along great. You could have a fist fight with this guy because he called you a spick one day and you called him a guinea, and the next day you were hanging out. it was a different kind of thing. There was no one waiting for you in the corner to stab you. Everybody took care of each other. It was a different kind of thing. You know, everybody got along. I remember I drive down Kennedy Boulevard with my son on 27th Street. I tell my son, this is where I used to hang out. This street corner right here. I used to play stickball, manhunt, tag, hide and seek. We played everything. We played football. And you remember Nabisco?
Fuck yeah.
We played football in Nabisco or Center Forward. We used to play football there. In the snow, bloody, the elbows bloodied. And so we grew up in an area. There's a mixture of people. And everybody got along. It was a great place to grow up in. You know what I mean? So it was different than being born in Cuba, growing up in Cuba, coming here with this culture. No, you created this culture of a mixture of people.
So would you like? Obviously, you're Cuban, but like, would you say like you're more like this area of New Jersey? Like that's more of your personality?
I probably have more in common with you than with a Cuban coming from Cuba now.
Okay.
We grew, you grew up in this area. You understand the economy of it. You understand the food. You understand the people. You understand the language, the attitude. It's different. Some Cubans come now. You can't really read them. You kind of sort of where's he coming from? Where someone from Union City, you know where they're coming from. You understand. Someone from North Bergen, you know where they're coming from. You know the walk. You know what you know. When you know.
Right.
And it's different. It's different. So when people ask me, like even my son says to me, well, sometimes you tell people you're Cuban, sometimes you tell me you're American. I said, I'm American. I grew up here. I'm an American citizen. I gave up my citizenship years ago. I'm American through and through. I love this country. I'd do anything for this country. This country gave me and my family everything. It's a beautiful country, man. There's nothing like the United States of America. Nothing.
And that's what these fucking Salamukis don't understand. And then they want to fucking walk around and just fucking talk shit, Coming from a Cuban house, bro, whatever the fuck you think and whatever the fuck they thought, my mother was pro-American. And if my mother would have lived, I would have been in the army. Because these fucking Cubans felt that they saved their life. So now we have to fight for them. I mean, they're really pro-Americans, man. And they got fucked over and the whole thing. And some people forgave Kennedy. You go to some Cubans' houses, they got a picture of Kennedy with a bullet hole in the fucking thing still. That's some Cubans. That's the way it is. But when I was young, I didn't really know what it meant to be Cuban. I didn't really know. We came from such a... One day we're eating at an Ascalese house. One day you're eating at Johnny Black's house. One day, you don't really know until you become a man and you become older and you see what you're made of. And there was a lot of times when I walked into auditions or comedy clubs with my balls on the line and I go, you know what? My mother didn't come here for me to be a fucking punk.
Right.
My mother didn't fucking leave her family to come here for me to be a fucking punk. That's number one. Number two, I don't know. But I've always started feeling Cuban after I did time. When I went to prison and got locked up, that's when my Cubanazo came out. It just came out in prison. Like, I'll tell you, if you fucking touch me, I'll kill one of you motherfuckers. And it was just a state of mind. It's just a state of mind. Being from North Bergen is a state of mind.
Yeah,
those
absolutely.
days will never happen again.
Absolutely.
That was when I look at those North Bergen football teams. Nobody was bigger than 6 feet, and they fucking won a state championship. They were number one on the East Coast. That's little Italians that came from Hoboken.
Okay.
Because nobody knows the story about Hoboken, how the Irish wouldn't let the Italians pass 9th Street. When you do that to somebody, those motherfuckers get hot. So they came up here to smack Irish people. I don't know what it did. Half of the people we grew up with, at the end of the day, are all bloodline Hoboken people. Barone, Vinny Ascalese. I mean, there's 1,000 of them that are from Hoboken. Thousands of them. And I want to know what happened in Hoboken that made the kids I grew up with, and the kids you grew up with, animals. We were fucking animals. We talk about the Peter Jimenez. That dude was jumping out in front of a car and getting hit by a car. The zoo people And finally, one day, he jumped in front of a car and killed him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No.
yeah,
Wasn't Peter like 17 in 6th grade or 7th grade?
Yeah,
Something
he got
was
the pilot program.
I swear to God, he was 17
bro,
in
he had
7th
hairy
grade.
legs and hairy armpits.
Yeah,
and he playing
that's the
basketball.
truth.
And
Fuck his
shit.
arms.
That's
What are
the
you
truth.
talking about? His way to make money was to get hit by a car.
And sue him on Kelly Boulevard.
It was crazy.
And about 20 years ago, he jumped out in front of a car. And
You
just,
remember this guy Merck? You remember Merck? They
Danny
used to-
Merck.
Yeah, they
the
used to climb
thickest fucking
buildings.
glasses.
He used to climb buildings like a Spider-Man. It's crazy. He used to climb any brick building. I think he died. Didn't he die? Passed
No,
away?
Did he
he's
fall
a-
off of a building?
He's
I don't
another
know.
guy. Looked like he's combed his hair with a
Yeah, yeah,
chemistry
exactly,
set.
exactly.
His hair was fucked up and had these little bottle glasses.
Yeah, yeah.
But that motherfucker was a solid dude. He fucking stabbed three
Yeah.
Puerto Ricans for he was
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, he
that
did or
dude was
would?
crazy. Now let me ask you a question, so we can really get this party started. Tell me that you lived on 26th Street with all those animals.
I lived on 27th and Kennedy, right off Kennedy Boulevard.
So you did, but you hung out with those savages down there.
Yeah, I used to Liberty Avenue. We used to say going down to Liberty.
But you didn't go to 26th Street for the projects down there.
Man, you
With
go to 26th where the
Martincito.
Puerto Ricans are. We used to.
I used to hang with the Puerto Ricans
Oh
on
my
Central.
God. Yeah, Central
but
Avenue.
If you go over down that 26th Street,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
where Alex Carvajal
Yeah,
lived.
yeah.
And Maria.
Oh no, down 26. That was great. Martincito lived there. Alex Carvajal, great guy. Maria and I worked in Tom McCann's together, and she had a hot rod. I think it was her brother's, and she let me drive it one time. So I put my foot down to her. I spin the wheels. What are you doing to my car, man? You spend all the gas. You're burning out the tires. Great girl, Maria
I still hit
Carvajal.
Maria and go, it's never too late. We can still do this. And when she comes to my shows, I tell her, Maria, let's go.
She's great,
Let's end
great girl.
this shit. Let's go to Cuba. Big, like her brothers.
Oh, really?
fucking Young. Oh, she's big. You know,
Yeah,
she's always
yeah.
taller than all of us.
Nice girl. Yeah, I used to hang out down there. You remember they moved all those people out. Remember at one point?
I
On
don't
26th Street?
No.
Louis Arias. You remember Louis Arias?
Yeah.
I used to hang out with Louis Arias, Martincito, David. Jim, you know Charneco? You remember Jim Charneco?
No.
Jimmy Charneco. He used to live on 28th
I remember
Street.
like Alfred Osley.
Yeah,
and I
all these
remember
guys.
Dean Lepre.
And
and-
Dean Lepre, the brothers,
and
yeah.
the Percasino brothers,
Yeah,
the one
man,
that just
yeah.
died. That was down there. That was like North Bergen had all these neighborhoods, 26, and they all kept up to themselves. But that neighborhood down there was off the chain.
Yeah, it
because
was
they would
great.
always battle Union City on Halloween and go up there with fucking
Oh, my God.
socks with flour and eggs and
On
shit.
Mischief Night?
Oh, it was
man.
on down there. That was mischief neighborhood. But the thing I remember the most was the light bulb company,
Duratest.
Duratest.
Yeah.
That they used to throw their light bulbs out and all their bulbs, like if they were defective.
Yeah, yeah.
And Juan Ali, the Ali brothers.
Yeah, yeah, I remember.
Juan and the other brother,
I remember the brother. I remember that Lee brother.
Juan and Carlos. They used to go to hookah houses when they were in the 6th
Oh,
grade.
my God.
There you go.
Yeah.
I gotta go
oh
to
my
piss,
God.
but when I come out, we're gonna finish the story. There you go. They were in the 6th grade, and their dad would take them to the city, and they would come back on Monday. Like people were like, I went to the cinema, I went to roller skating. And he's like, man, we got our dick sucked by some black girl for
Yeah.
$10, and you're like, what the fuck?
And we'll take a break, but how does this relate to light bulbs?
Because
They lived right on
they
top
lived
of the
next
hill.
door to the
Yeah,
light bulb
yeah.
place.
Oh, okay.
And we would jump the garbage can, take the light bulbs out, and beat each other up. Everybody went home white because it had white powder in it from the fluorescent. Everybody had fucking white powder on them every night.
Juan Ali, he was the first guy that talked to me about girls, the nitty gritty, the nitty gritty.
Oh.
But you
Oh,
gotta
he
do.
was fucking hookers in
Oh
high school.
man, yeah.
So we had a kid, McKinley Juan Soto,
I don't remember.
good-looking Cuban kid.
remember him.
He got a girl pregnant. He quit school in the 7th grade. He was
Seventh
I gotta
grade?
Go. I gotta go.
I didn't even kiss anybody in the 7th grade. Take a break.
We're back, bitches. So what happened with the Ali brothers?
No, Juan Ali. He was
Juan
the
Ali.
first guy that talked to me about girls, about the nitty gritty, what to do, how to do it.
So
And I was like, how does this kid know?
what grade were you in, do you think?
I was in grammar school.
Grammar school.
I was in grammar
And that's
school.
like up to 5th grade?
6th. I know I met him in the 6th grade, and every weekend him and his brother, he was on the level. His brother was not all there. He got hit in the head with a rock or something because he wasn't all there. And one day we were outside at his house, a bunch of us, Martin, Julie, Martin's cousin who
Yeah, yeah.
died, God rest his soul, and we were throwing light bulbs, and they were throwing shit at me, and I was on the roof. So I took a rock and I threw it up in the air. I just threw it up in the air, and all of a sudden I hear. oh, and I go down and it hit the younger one who wasn't all there. And he had a big lump on his head with a blood stain. And he just got up like, no, I'll take a soda. You want a soda? I'll take a soda.
Oh, God. No, 26 was a great place to hang out.
That was a great place
We
to
had
hang out.
so much fun there. It was unbelievable. Mischief night. Nothing exists like Mischief night now with the eggs and the flour. You know what I did one year? I'm Cuban, so I didn't know about the white flour. I put the real not the kernels, but the yellow flour. It
Oh,
doesn't get
shit.
powder, and you hit someone over the head. So I hit them over the head with a rock.
Yeah, no,
So that's
that
what I
shit-
put in it. I had no clue.
I don't know if you were there that night. We were all stuck on, had to be 76, 75. We were all stuck on buying glue and then writing your initials on a tree and lighting them on fire and then blowing it out. Everybody was doing it. You go up and down 26, because that's funny you said West New York got no trees. When you walk up and down fucking North Bergen, they got all these trees on 26th Street, and they planted new ones in the middle. And one night we're coming home from somewhere, and Martin goes, I'm going to put so me and Julie and maybe you, somebody else, there was a couple of us, we're sitting there watching him on the steps like a lookout. And he's putting MP, and all of a sudden, he looks at us, he goes, yeah, and he lights the fucking initials, but the thing goes, and there's like a tree, right? There's like a tree. And the limb is catching on fire. And Martin's hitting it with his hands and going, I go, Martin, it's over. And before Martin could put this thing out, a little fucking fire truck came, like a little inspector, and threw him on the floor. We ran.
Is he still in jail?
Who?
Martin or who?
Martin's in North Carolina. Good kid, really good
But
kid.
at some point in the 70s, just before I moved to Union City, they had everybody move out of 26th Street because they wanted to renovate all those buildings.
Oh, that's right.
And everybody had to move out. And it killed the vibe. Then it was dead. There were no kids around anymore. Then they started doing Section 8 and all that kind of stuff, and there were no kids around anymore. So everybody, that's when Martincito moved out, Luis Arriaga moved out, the brothers moved out, everybody moved out. Everybody left. And there were no kids there. For years, the place was vacant. They were fixing up all the apartments. I remember I was devastated. I was devastated when that happened.
I kind of remember them cleaning that out. Even like when I drive by Centerford, Tom's.
Centerford was great.
Tom's Diner.
Tom's Diner, man.
Oh.
Oh, I just told my son, oh my God, Tom's Diner
Fuck.
is this little place right in the corner of 27th, between 27th and 28th Street. I had my first cheeseburger there. You know how much it cost? 64 cents for a deluxe, and it came with fries and a drink with a second drink. 64 cents, and it was an expensive burger then. I couldn't believe it.
64 cents. How did they get the 4 cents?
I don't know, 64 cents.
That would piss me off.
My dad, we lived in that building there where Tom's Diner was.
Okay, that's where you
And
live.
my dad was the super. When he came from Cuba, he was the super there, and he was the dishwasher at Tom's. And then eventually he bought Siglo 38, whatever it's called, Siglo whatever. And then he started buying, he got the bars and the buildings and stuff like that.
You lived across the street from Lourdes Ramos.
Yes.
And I'll never forget, I was talking to them, this is what I'm telling you, about being Cuban. Like, some people could take it, some people can't. I went over to Lourdes' house, like on a Saturday night, and everybody was okay. We were going to some dance or something. And her mother was there, and her mother was dressed up. And she wasn't the best-looking woman you ever seen, but
she was nice people.
But she was nice people, and your mom always said...
Clara.
And I said, oye, Clara, está de enganche. Oye, Clara, está de enganche. Vas a salir esta noche. And 2 days later, the lawyer's like, you're not allowed in my house no more.
What does that mean?
Like, I don't know. What does enganche means? Like, you're
You're
ready...
hot, you're hot. You're ready to go
You're
hook up.
looking for a
You're ready to
fucking
hook up.
victim. Está de enganche means I got the hook out. You know what I'm saying?
Lourdes and her sister, Iris, they're in social media. I follow Iris a lot.
Really?
Yeah, she's great girl. They're both of them great people. And her mom, I loved her mom to death.
Loved her mom.
Her mom made the best espresso in North Bergen by far, and she made this white rice with a little salchicha. What do you call it?
Yeah, arroz con salchicha.
Yeah, arroz con salchicha.
Oh, the yellow
was-
rice?
Yeah. Oh my God, she made the
God.
best. She made the best.
That's fucking...
They were
That's
great.
poverty food for Cubans.
But,
That little but it's works.
But it was great. It was
Yellow
great.
with little hot dogs in it, those little links and shit. You put a little sauce in that motherfucker and you make believe it's a lobster tail. You're like,
I want to go back with Lourdes. We used to hang out. You remember McKinley School when you came down the ramp, coming down from the bridge. Okay, there's a little ramp. There's a little wall there before the gym, right next to where the gym is.
Yeah.
We used to sit there, and used to hang out with us there. And he turned me on to Richard Pryor. It was always imitating Richard Pryor. And the Honeymooners. I had no idea what the Honeymooners were, and Richard Pryor. You were always doing Ralph Crandall.
Fuck yeah.
Always. And Richard Pryor, he had us in stitches crying, and Lourdes was there, David was there, Martincito, myself, and a bunch of other people. You know, I remember that clear as day, as though it was yesterday.
Do you remember any of the? Because he on the podcast for years would talk about loving Richard Pryor, and I love that he
The
just
thing
farted.
with Richard Pryor as a vampire, the whole sketch
Yeah,
is a
yeah,
vampire,
yeah.
so
When
he's
he
doing
goes-
to a T.
That's right.
Oh my God.
That's awesome.
There was no one as funny. I can tell you that 100%. Not because I'm here with him. There was no one funnier
have a
than
good
Coco.
time.
And you're saying
No
that even
one.
after you dropped the weights on your head.
Even then.
Even
No, after the weights, I laughed. I told the story when we reconnected years ago. I've been with my wife almost 27 years. I've told that story 100 times about the weights, and I looked at this fucking guy was just laughing. The karate guy with his guinea tea, he was just looking at us like, what just happened? The whole weight fell on my head, and he's just laughing. He's supposed to be spotting me. I wasn't strong, you know. It was crazy. We had no gym class in McKinley to make me strong.
We were talking about Hernandez, and I want to talk to you
Hernandez.
motherfuckers about Hernandez. Hernandez was on 28th and Bergen line,
Yeah.
right by the thing
in the
there.
corner.
Hernandez was open till about 3. Look, my hands get itchy just thinking about fucking Hernandez. Hernandez was open till about 3 or 4. I don't even know when it closed down.
I don't know.
Maybe the mid 80s. I thought he had 2 sons that took it over. He had those 2 big
Yeah,
boys. Like everybody always tells me how good Cuban sandwiches are now. Go to this place, go to this place. This one's got pepperoni. Listen,
the way that wasn't me. Don't look at me. I didn't tell you about a
Listen.
pepperoni place.
There's no pepperoni Cuban sandwiches.
fucking Hernandez, you went in there and the ham and the Swiss were already on the bread, and it was packed, and it was a big one, and there was walls of just sandwich bread with the Swiss and the thing. And you come in, you right there, he had a glass in front of him,
Yeah.
and you go, hey, nanda, I'm un cubano, ahí. And he fucking cut a piece of pork off right in front of you. None of this, for you motherfuckers that want to sell a Cuban camp sandwich with pulled pork, I'll fucking kill you. I'll fucking kill you, okay? There's no pulled pork. None of that fucking bullshit. So, right or wrong, these fucking
right,
jerk
you're right,
offs.
you're right.
You had the Cuban. I wouldn't eat your fucking Cuban. You're fucking from Ireland. Why would I make, they went, oh, pulled pork. This guy would slice white meat pork. And then he had jamon, the fucking ham to give it even more flavor. And he'd take a fucking paintbrush, brush that motherfucker with butter and put it in there. And then you tell him to make you a guarapo, that sugarcane
my God,
juice
yeah.
with fucking tons of ice. Are you fucking kidding me?
That was the real
Did
deal.
he have, Lucy, do you know a place? Joey's been teasing me for years. I'm still fat, but I used to be a lot fatter. He's been teasing me with a preparata sandwich, the Cuban sandwich with the little croquettes on the bottom.
That's my wife's favorite.
That's the
Where do you
best,
get
man.
that?
You can get in Las Brisas. You can get croqueta preparada. That's what I get all the
We
time.
might go to Las Brisas.
Croqueta preparada.
Oh, you.
But Hernandez. But this is when Swiss cheese tasted like Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
Not like now it tastes like paper. Swiss cheese tasted like Swiss cheese. It was the real deal. When he's talking about ham, it was ham. It was ham. It was the real deal with mustard and the butter. It was, oh my God. Hernandez restaurant was the best Cuban joint in all of the area.
And all they had was the sandwiches, or they
No,
had
no,
everything?
I don't know what they had on the.
They had this. I love to brag about. They had the best empanada, meat empanada. And my dad, he had a bar. He worked in a bar, so he closed down the bar. He would get empanadas and show up at the house and say, "Wake up!" I said this mirror behind my door with some sun thing that's made of metal, and he would open the door like 3 o'clock or 3:30 in the morning. So I jump up. I have empanadas. Get up. You got to eat this with the guarapo. I would get up and sit in the bed and I eat wolf down 2 empanadas. I would fart all night. But
Then go to
those
Cubans
empanadas
wake you up at 3 in the morning.
I know. I was just thinking about it with
They
your mom.
don't give a fuck, okay? If they come in and if let's say my mom comes over and we were sitting on the couch and we eating potato chips, 2 a.m. You think that lady cooked from Goodfellas? Tommy's mother? Shit. And I'm talking my mother would pop up a paella late night and wake me up, a fucking boliche.
Yeah.
Con arroz,
Oh
con
my
frijoles.
God.
That's the shit they cooked at 3 a.m. When you went to school, you're like, what the fuck? Why does my house smell like fucking
My mom-
Pomelata?
My mom had the pressure cooker
Okay.
to make the beans.
Oh.
And she used to go to work and leave the pressure cooker cooking the beans. She used to prepare them the night before. You know,
Right.
I forgot, marinate them and shit,
Yeah.
you know. And then she would leave the pressure cooker cooking. She would go to work and come back from work and finish up the beans. And then we had this fresh beans every single night, you know, with everything. My mom cooked everything, oxtail, you know, rabbit. If it moved, she cooked it. You know, it was just, she cooked everything, but everything was delicious. And to me, everything was chicken. She said, it's chicken. But what is this, Mom? It's the little chicken. But she gave me everything.
Just
We ate
so
everything.
you wouldn't
Deer,
complain about
everything. Everything. We ate
I
everything.
remember when we lived in New York, we used to get cantina.
Yeah, cantina. That was
What's
big,
that?
man.
They dropped the food off in front of your house in like little bowls stacked on each other with a thing, and it had like white rice.
Meat. He had a white rice. He had
So just like
beans,
a
and meat.
meal prep before meal prep.
Yeah.
No. This was your food was cooked. Ain't no
was
meal
cooked.
prep.
They
Ain't no
cook-
fucking meal prep.
You have little containers, one on top of each
One
other.
on top of the other with a metal thing at the top. Some of them even gave you fucking Cuban coffee.
Yeah.
And a flan. for
So
dessert.
you have rice, you have beans, you have the meat, then you have like plantains or maduros or whatever, you know.
Okay.
And you had the whole meal for the family.
You know what? Since we're talking about food, he's talked for years about Cuban Chinese food. Do you have any like?
Chino Latino, that was the best.
Yeah.
man.
What do you think about that?
Oh, that was great. What's it?
La Campana China and 57th
Oh my
and
God.
Bergen
That
Line.
was the best.
La Campana China.
There's
that means
nothing like Chino
the
Latino.
Chinese fucking bell, cocksucker.
Nothing like Chino Latino. Nothing.
my
nothing.
God.
Nothing.
And what would you get? Like, what's your Chinese Cuban food order? Like, what would you get?
God, we got everything. You can get everything. You can get. I would get always the chicken fried rice. Back then, now I don't get. Now I get vegetable fried rice. You know, I'm more modern. The chicken fried rice, but you can get it with plantains, with sweet plantains.
yeah.
And then you can get a bistec, bistec empanizado,
Empanizado.
What's that?
breaded steak,
Breaded steak.
like a skirt steak but breaded.
I used to get the pork chop with the pork fried rice, an egg roll, and some tostones.
Oh, tostones.
I feel like you got that only a year ago when he went.
Damn,
You're like,
wow.
already done.
Wow, you're making me hungry.
Oh, no, I'm
Chino
hungry.
Latino was.
Chino Latino was fucking the real
And then we
deal.
had the other. Then we had the other side of the coin. We had this place, the Polynesian place on Kennedy Boulevard.
My guy.
My guy.
Tremendous. The food killed you. They finally closed it down because they found cats.
They caught
in
him.
the
They caught
refrigerator.
him cooking cats.
They
No,
caught him cooking
I
cats.
swear to
don't tell me
God.
that.
Yeah, they did.
Don't tell me
They were
that.
hanging in the freezer and shit. And they always gave you a lot of grass with the food because there's a cemetery in the back. They would just go back there. What does he want? Yeah, I thought. And he'd just take a handful of the grass,
Yeah.
whether the cat pissed on it or whatever.
Fucking cats.
They were feeding cats. They were.
You can't tell me that.
They were
He's been
cooking
saying, I just moved to New York and like I am a little
You can
scared to
smell
get
the cat
Chinese
in
food.
New York.
I don't want to eat
You
cat.
can smell it. You can smell it. You see the
What does it
kids.
smell like?
It
I
smells
don't know, I
like
never ate
it smells like a kid's tears.
But I swear to God, they caught him cooking cats several times. Not just
Several
once.
times?
Yeah. They finally closed them down.
Who
They
would
couldn't-
go after the first time?
They couldn't help themselves.
Bro, they had an all you could eat. That you just went in there, closed your eyes, and pray for the best, okay? They gave you spare ribs.
Cat
And they
ribs.
cut them in half, and you could pick up the thing. I remember one day we were picking up the thing, and the guy's like, no.
Yeah, I don't think you were supposed to pick up
The tray of
cat
them and take
spare
them
ribs.
to go. We had so much. Now I remember where there was a fucking a go-go bar. Yeah, it was on 32nd Street, right up from the newsstand.
Yeah.
That's in the late 70s. There was like a burlesque bar. And I would go up there to get my mother. My mother would drink up there in the afternoon. I'm like, Mom, what the fuck?
Yeah, Union City has so many. Union City had the transfer station downtown.
Yep.
That's where the old trolleys used to turn around and come back uptown. The whole area was full of clubs, nightclubs, cabarets, and everything. Burt Lancaster worked down there as a dishwasher. What's her name? Deborah Harry worked down there as a waitress at one point.
Now, Deborah Harry and Pat Benatar shot a movie in Union City
Yeah, Union City.
called Union City.
Holy shit.
Right on Summit Avenue, there's a building in the corner of Summit and 18th Street. That's where they shot it. In that apartment building. Crazy.
And speaking of Union City, were you ever like? Do you remember Joey's mother's bar? Were you around for that?
I was around. I didn't frequent it. My dad owned bars as well.
Right.
So
You
our
owned
dad-
the 50, like Café La Tita.
Café Tita and La Última Copa.
Yeah, the
My
Café
dad
La
owned.
Tita.
So all the Cuban proprietors knew each other. They were all like gangsters. They were
I was gonna say, was there like a war? Did you guys hate each other, or you
No.
guys?
No.
Maybe he was at my house. My mother was there that day when he got hit with the barbell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was we all worked together. Everybody was friends. There was a guy on 33rd Street. His name was Boyo Triste. And he had a bar. That means sad pussy. That's way before big pussy. That was 77. Everybody called him Boyo Triste. And then that whole area there was fucking tremendous. And I was telling Lucy on the phone the other night where my mother had the first restaurant was across from Union Hill. 38th.
38th, right.
And there's a little refrigeration.
Yeah,
place.
I know the place.
Then on the corner now it's some medical supply. But in that was fucking the hottest corner. Because you had Carvel on the corner. Next to it was the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
Okay, the bottom of the barrel is the real fucking deal.
That was beautiful, that place.
If you read Henry Hill's book, he talks about the bottom of the barrel. He was at the bottom of the barrel. We used to stop in Union City and get a drink at the bottom of the barrel. And on top of that was Fujia Pai Kung Fu,
Yeah.
which is probably still there. But then I remember that, and if you walk towards Kennedy, there was like a pharmacy, because one day they were loading a truck, and we robbed it. Like in the 6th grade, we robbed one of the little boxes. It was a box of condoms. And we didn't know, bro, we were like 10, and we all had condoms.
Yeah.
Purple condoms and shit. You're like, what are we going to do with condoms? We tried to sell them. Get out of here with those things.
Everybody had a condom in their wallet. They have
their
no money,
wallet.
but a condom in their wallet. Nobody used the condom. Nobody used,
No, it was just to talk.
hysterical.
Pa
Just
meter luz
to
mate.
say, I have a.
Pa meter luz mate.
Yeah.
A mate was when you make out with a chick and shit. Oh, my God.
What did you think of Joey's mom? I don't think I've met anybody else who knew
Oh,
Joey's
she was
mom.
very nice. Very, typical Cuban mom. Really cool.
Yeah?
Yeah, the way I remember her, like really, really nice. I walked in, very friendly.
The bar was great, man.
Well, even just in general, just like, I mean, I guess George, maybe you knew his mom, didn't? No, I think you're the first person I met.
You got to understand, Cuban parents, like my dad, my stepdad was my stepdad. He was a tough guy. Wore a suit, always carried the whole bit. He'll pistol whip anybody in a second. No, he would come home a lot of times. My mom cleaning him up or cleaning up or throwing out the suit, pistol whipping this and that, because you had to be really tough. It was no kidding. But at the same time, he would show up in the middle of the night, not only with empanadas. I remember one night specifically, I'm asleep. I'm in school. I'm in high school. He brought a cat from the street, a black cat, and he threw it on top of me in the bed. Can you imagine if you're asleep and you're a teenager and someone throws a cat on you? That's the kind of stuff he would do. One day, we're having like a Christmas party. My aunt is coming, this and that, and we had a little apartment, and everybody's having a good time. He shows up with a homeless guy. Napoleon. Napoleon was his name. I'll never forget, Napoleon. And he brought him over to have Christmas with us. A homeless guy. That's the type of guy he was, So they were this tough, outer people, but sweethearts. So when you ask me about Joey's mom,
right?
She's probably, when she has to be at the bar, she's probably tough as nails. But at home, she was a mom.
She was a mom.
She was a mom.
And she loved these guys. Anybody who came over, she always fed them.
But everybody got
There was
along.
no macaroni and cheese. My mom would give you a brand new steak out of the fucking box. Jack.
Oh yeah, you didn't eat like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in
No.
those days.
Did
That's
she
the
like
stuff.
other Cuban kids? Like not more, but like was it like special when a Cuban kid came over?
Yes and no. I like
No?
everybody to come over.
No, I know you
And
would,
then-
but
and those times you went over people's houses and they feed you and drive you to places. It
Yeah,
was fucking crazy. Like
I remember, man. I lived on 27th Street in the corner. I played baseball up on 64th Street in North Bergen. My mom would give me whatever, a quarter, 30 cents to take the bus.
number one.
Number one. And that was me with my borrowed cleats and my glove, taking the bus by myself, crossing the boulevard by myself. This is 9, 10 years old, driving, riding the bus all the way up by myself, crossing the street again, playing baseball, coming home. There was no like bottled water, like kids, you go play. My son goes to play soccer now. He has a Gatorade on one side, and a bottle of water on the other side, with 2 different pairs of shoes in his bag.
And a fucking bag to carry. Nothing.
We had
carried
nothing.
fucking
We had nothing. We had
Nothing?
nothing.
Nothing.
No.
Nothing.
If there was a hose, that was golden.
All
drink
this
water?
bullshit about dehydration.
Oh, man.
we would have died
Bullshit.
50 fucking years ago.
Kidding
It's
me?
all bullshit.
Lead pain, dehydration. all this kind of stuff.
Dehydration, rusty water. I don't know what these fucking. I feel dehydrated. How do you feel fucking dehydrated? It's 90 degrees. You think your grandfather stopped doubles for some faggy kid? Nobody was dying back then, right?
No, nobody.
Every year now, somebody died. Oh, it was too hot. Nobody was fucking dying. They were running fucking 76th Street Hills, okay? So get your shit together. Feed your kid what you're supposed to, and he won't,
But if you came over to one of our houses to eat, you wouldn't get like a peanut butter and jelly
No.
sandwich. You
No.
get a plate of rice and beans, a steak, a chicken steak, whatever.
would've had a
All
lot
over
of
your
house.
house.
Llévate algo to go.
Yeah, and
Sure.
take
How
something
they
to
would
go.
say to you, algo to go, Paulita.
Yeah.
Holy shit! And then, cause I didn't realize how like you guys were in the same spot. And I'm not trying to get you to incriminate anyone in your family, but Joey's talked for years about like the numbers and like doing that.
Everybody did the numbers.
Everybody
racket.
got it.
Everybody. They did the numbers racket, and in the bars they did. I think called charada. It's a gambling game
The gambling game.
where every number is associated with a saint or with something.
With a Chinese.
A Chinese thing, yeah.
La charada.
La
Yeah,
charada.
I have the list. I have the list. 0 to
And
99.
every bar, they played it, and everybody turned their heads.
Whoa!
And all these owners, everybody carried. Everybody took care of each other. There was only, I remember one guy in the 3 towns that my dad said, that's a chivato.
A what?
A chivato.
A rat.
What?
A
Oh,
rat.
okay.
A chiva.
That's the one nobody wanted to deal with.
And he was Cuban.
He was Cuban, yeah. He goes, oh, I don't like that guy. That's just a chivato. He'll rat you out. The one guy. But everybody got along. Everybody did the numbers rack. Everybody did charada.
Did you ever
Everybody-
win the numbers?
Huh?
Did you ever win the numbers?
me?
Yeah.
No, I
I did.
played it. But
Twice.
My dad won a bunch of times.
One time I went to Union Hill to play in the rec league, and I was on a purple team, and they gave me the thing, and it had number 57. And I walk in the house, and my mom's like, "What's that number? Where'd you get that shirt from?" I go, "I got it from 57. Put a number in front of it." I go, 5. She called, $10,000. $10, I won 5. She gave me $2,500. And then on my birthday, I hit my birthday in 1979. I had 219.
Wow.
I went to Jersey City to watch a movie, and when I came back, they told me. And all those cats, there was a bookmaker in Union City that was the best. His name was Arnaldo do Campo.
Yeah.
He sat at my mother's bar. He was about 5'9", 220, but his stomach was all the way out. And he would just sit in like one of those chairs. And at 3 o'clock, he left, because that's when the bank closed. 3 o'clock is when you can't take numbers no more. The number comes out like a 4. So he would stay there from 8 in the morning to 3, drinking and fucking making comments. And he was the guy right now that if he was alive, he'd be in jail, because he talked to me and my friends like we were adults. Like if we were 10, we walked in, "Oh, you come in. You get your dick sucked? Yeah, tomaron la pinga." You're like, "Dog, I just want to play dominoes." I came over to play Monopoly with this fucking dude. Every time you saw him, he said something sexual to you. He wasn't a pedophile, not at all.
Well, he was fucked up.
But he would always ask you, "Did you get your dick sucked yet? Are you pissing sweet yet? Me ando dulce."
yeah.
He would always. But the best was I saw him at 30th and what's the street? All right, so this is Bergen Line, 30th Street, Chappie's Florist.
Yeah. Patterson Plank Road, the road.
If I go down the next corner, there used to be a bar there where Pincheros
Oh, yeah,
danced.
yeah. New York Avenue. That's New York Avenue.
Okay.
The corner of New York.
That used to be a bar owned by Teddy Martuniak. He played for the Chicago Bulls out of Union City. He died from drinking. That dude could drink for fucking days. But I forgot what I was going to say. What were we talking about?
The guy talking sexual to you.
Oh, yeah.
We went in there to play a number one day, and I went in there with a kid named Darren Rago, God rest his soul. We're about 18 at the time now, and Rago liked him. There was 2 incidents of Rago. One incident, he was sitting at the bar in the corner, and he had 2 young girls with him, like that, 25 Cuban girls talking to him. And Rago goes, "Ask him if he wants to smoke pot." Right? So this motherfucker's like, "Yeah, I'll smoke. Yo fumo todos los días, compadre." I never saw him smoke pot. He's like, yo fumaba ayer en Cuba. I used to smoke pot in Cuba, one of those guys.
Yeah.
He's, Cubans, like I remember going to see Bruce Lee movies and going back to my mother's bar, and the guys would sit there and they go, "Where'd you come from?" "I went to see a Bruce Lee movie." "That guy's a punk. I beat him up in Cuba like 3 years ago, and I lose my mind. What are you fucking talking about? Nobody beats up Bruce Lee. He's a fucking pussy. I smacked them right on the corner on 58th Street one time, and you would fucking die. Like they're just lying to you. They're just breaking your balls, and that's what they do. That's their sense of humor. So the one time we're in there, ¿Quieres fumar? He goes, yo no fumo afuera. He didn't want to smoke outside. He wanted to smoke in the bar. And it was like a chocolate tie on a big bamboo. And we kept giving it to him, but he was trying to impress the young girls. And he's like, yeah. And they didn't even know what he was saying. He didn't know what they were saying.
Right.
He's smoking. And finally, the girls didn't want to smoke no more. And the joint kept going to him. And he's sucking on it. And he's trying to give it away. And everybody was like, nah. And he kept smoking it, dog. And he passed out. And then I went in there like a month later, and he goes, oh, yeah. ¿Qué estaba en ese tabaco? What was in that weed? He goes, I couldn't feel my legs for 4 days. And then that day, he told his dad, I'll never forget this, Lucio. He told his dad he went home that night, and he jerked off, and it was so fucking good. And I go, what are you talking about? He goes, my wife was in the shower, que rico. And he had a chair. When they say que rico, you know they're fucking crazy. And he goes, And he was in the chair at a bar telling me and a bunch of North Bergen kids how he jerked off the night before. And he's like making noises. Que rico. Sí, pónmelo ahí. And when he came, he goes, pa! And he kept going, pa, pa, pa. But his chair kept going back in the bar. He's like, pa, pa, pa. Entonces me quedé dormido. And just went right to sleep. And we're like,
It's hysterical.
what the fuck is this? And that's the sense of humor.
Yeah.
I think that Cuban sense of humor helped me later on in life. That little quick thinking, like those fucking Cubans, just, I remember there used to be a fat lady that lived across the street from my house in North Bergen. Later on, before my mother died, she was a flat black Cuban lady.
Right.
And whenever my mother would cook, she would come over. And my mother would be watching the Yankee game, and the black chick would go in the kitchen, and my mother would go, oye, gorda. Hey, fat fuck.
Oh, my God.
Get your fingers out of the pot. I could feel them from here. Like, they just have a weird sense of fucking humor,
Yeah.
man. That little twist on things, they have no filter. No filter. That's me. No filter. They don't give a fuck. And when they say something, they say it loud. They don't.
My son, we're having dinner, and he says to me, he turns around and says, how come every time you talk to a Cuban, you talk so loud? I said, I don't talk loud. Yeah, every time, I know when you're talking to someone Cuban because your decibel level is like 1,000 times higher. I don't know why. I don't know why we do that.
It's the house. So when you quit acting, when you said that's it, what did you decide to do?
No, what happened was it was a segue. I had gone off my tour. I did the 40th anniversary revival of West Side Story. It was supposed to come to Broadway. We went to L.A. Cheetah Rivera came out. All the old West Side Story people came to see us, and we were supposed to come to Broadway after L.A. They decided to close down the company because they said, well, we made our money back after the first month. We sold out everywhere. Made a lot of money. So we were out on tour for 2 years. So they were making profit. We were using this old set from a previous production, So they said, well, we have all these, equity guys here making all this money, making residuals on the commercials. Let's just close down the tour and take it out non-union, which they did. So now we were making X amount of dollars, and they get a small percentage of that. They can give them our old costumes, because if you're an equity member, you have to get all new costumes, all custom made shoes, custom made everything. But the non-union guys don't get any of that.
Get dick.
They get nothing. They travel by bus. No days off. Well, we had to have one, golden day to rest and all that kind of stuff. You commercials. So we were making not only with $2,000 a week back then, and I'm talking about the early '90s, $2,000 a week plus per diem, plus you're making the residuals on the commercial. So you're doing okay for a young guy, single, whatever. So I get off the tour. They closed down the tour because they wanted to go non-union so they can make more money. So I get off the tour, and I go do something at Westbury Music Fair, and at the Palace Theater. And I met my wife. I got off the tour 2 days later. I met my wife, and I said, "Man, this girl is beautiful. American girl, blue eyes, blonde, gorgeous." I was like, "Oh my God, she was stacked." I said, "This girl." So I'm over there, and my agent calls me up. They want you to go back out on tour with West Side for another year. And Chorus Line wants you to go out on tour with Chorus Line. Mitzi Hamilton was the choreographer. I said, I'm done. I can't go out on tour. I'm done. I'm staying home. So I stayed home. And that's when I started working at Spanish Rep, and I was still signed with Internet ICM for commercials and stuff. So I was doing the commercials, trying to do the soaps, and I started working at Spanish Rep, and I stayed with my wife. So what happened was I started writing, I had a newspaper, and I had a local TV show with a friend of mine that worked at ABC, because I remember I was working on All My Children as an orderly, and this guy was a stage manager on ABC and an assistant director on the news program back then. So he had a local TV show, so I got involved with him. And we talk about politics. I knew nothing about politics. I just had to know. I was very opinionated, and I had a newspaper. I started a newspaper. I was writing all kinds of opinions. I meet Brian Stack, and we hit it off. And I started helping him out, doing events and stuff like that, because I was good at coordinating events. And then he asked me if I wanted to come in. At first, I was like, nah, I'm an actor. I'm not a government guy. And he goes, no, I really want you to come in. We became friends. And he brought me in. I was the first director he brought in. And the rest is history. I've been there for, 24 years?
And you're the entertainment director?
I'm a commissioner.
Okay.
I came in as a director over a department, public affairs, which ran 6 departments. I came in as that. And then 3 years later, he asked me to be a commissioner, to run the commission. It's a commission form of government. We have 5 commissioners.
Right.
Everybody votes for the commissioners, and then between us, we choose who the mayor is going to be. But we always know who the mayor is, Brian, And he asked me to be a commissioner. He goes, everybody likes you get along with everybody, whatever. And so I came in as a commissioner. I was bilingual. I knew the town. I grew up in town. I loved the town, all that kind of stuff, And I became a commissioner. Slowly, I started giving up acting and producing more documentaries, short films, and stuff like that. And then that's how eventually I just gave up acting. And my wife said to me, I'm still a SAG. I pay my dues.
You pay your dues.
I pay my dues today. I paid them late. I was supposed to pay them in the spring. I paid the spring and the fall now. So she's complaining to me, goes, you have to pay whatever, $30-something, fee for being late or whatever, for $60. I said, no, I just pay for it just in case one day I want to do something, because you never know.
You never know. No, they call you all the time.
So I segued into what I do now, which I love. I love what I do. It's a great town. I love the town. I love working with Brian. And I love my fellow commissioners are great people.
The town looks fucking good.
No matter what you say about Union City, if you go back, and people can say, oh, Union City was this, was that. It was great. Union City, growing up in Union City was great. We had a mix of people. I loved the people. I loved that I came from there. But man, the things that Brian's done with all the new schools, the new roads, the new parks, no matter what you say, it's there. You can see it. That beautiful high school with the stadium on top, you see the progress. So no matter what you say, if you go back, none of that existed.
Bro, I went to that Obama school. You sent me that day?
To
get my shot?
Yeah.
You sent me down to Obama's on 16th
No,
Street?
that was Colin Powell.
Colin Powell. Fucking beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful school.
And that area down there, I mean, listen, I'm sad that St. Michael's is gone.
Yeah.
Holy Rosary's gone. I mean, we grew up on that shit.
Well, the girls in Holy Rosary.
Oh.
The most beautiful girls in town were from Holy Rosary. Oh, my God.
A lot of them, a couple of them from North Bergen. I still talk to one of them now
God.
in Holy Rosary.
The most beautiful girls came from Holy Rosary.
I used to date an Irish redheaded girl in Union City. I was in love, Jack. I was in love. And we used to hold hands and go get pizza on New York Avenue at that pizza place. Oh, my God. But I still remember going to fucking judo class on 7th Street. I still remember Sinatoni.
Sinatoni was the best. That's why I went to see all the karate films.
Yeah,
the old Bruce Lee films.
Oh, my God. It was English films with Spanish subtitles or the other way around.
No, they did everything there.
They did everything, and the owner had a wig. That's what I remember as a kid.
Yeah.
Is he still alive? Tell me he's still alive.
Yeah, Tony, yeah. He's still alive. He's a super nice guy.
And does he have the movie theater still? No.
No, he owns El Especialito, and he's the chairman of Save Latin America. But I just saw him the other day. I was in a party with him. He's a super nice guy. He still dresses to the T, and he's got the the hair, the white hair and stuff.
Yeah. Oh my God!
A couple of years ago, he got a little ill, but now he's doing good. He's doing good. He's a really good guy. So he's doing. You know how he started? He had a furniture store, I think, in Manhattan. Then he opened up a furniture store in Jersey, and then he bought Sinatoni, and Sinatoni was a huge. And eventually, he sold it when the movies died out in Union City, and then he went into El Especialito. No, first he got into, what's that newspaper, Hoy or whatever it used to be?
No.
It used to be the biggest Hispanic...
Diario La Prensa? No, that's not around.
No, that's not. But Hoy, or what I think it was Hoy, was the biggest Hispanic newspaper in the country. And he owned that, and he sold it for a lot of money. And then he started Especialito, Especialito. Made a ton of money. So he's a really cool guy, a character. He's a real character.
Well, that's what, and even like beside the Cubans, fucking what's his name had his office there. The guy from the mob, from the Genovese crime
Oh
family.
my God! Yeah,
You
down
know.
The mob had an office?
Summit.
Yeah, on Summit.
Why did he have an office?
Because it's a great place to have
The
an
Teamsters,
office.
the Teamsters building,
Oh, okay.
the Teamsters building.
So it wasn't like he just had an office to do mob shit. He was a teamster.
No, he was a Teamster.
Oh, okay.
But there used to be an Italian bakery on 22nd and Central. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
that was great.
That
I
was
don't know
a
if that's
great-
still around. I don't know if that's still around.
And I stayed in 26. When I got back to North Bergen, I think like like 3 months into the 6th grade, I didn't like living in my house. I didn't like that my mom come home late. I heard fucking spirits. We were talking about all the ghosts in North Bergen and the Indians and shit. And one day I said, I'm not doing this no more. And I moved up with my friends on 26th and Central. And I would wake up, I'd go to 22nd for the breakfast from the bakery. I'd get a bag of Zeppelis
Yeah.
and a fucking big thing of Italian bread with hotel bar butter. And I'd kill that. And then as I got older, I would just meet Dean LaPrete. And we'd go to Tom's Diner. And I always got the toasted corn muffin. God damn! Was fucking on the grill with extra butter and shit. Tom McCann, that center forward. I remember when they used to do punt, pass, and kick there.
Oh my God, Center Four. We played there
Right
all
on
the
Kenny
time.
Boulevard. Punt, pass, and fucking kick.
It was great.
And it would be packed. Packed with a bunch of fucking North Bergen savages,
I
Union
remember
City.
elbows all ripped up, knees ripped up. I mean, I was always ripped up.
was great.
I mean, all bloodied and the whole bit. And we never. Remember with David and stuff. Ask David. We used to play two-hand touch. Became full tackle on the blacktop with snow. Oh my God, we were
Hockey.
all ripped up. I would get home.
No, it wasn't different. These kids, no. I'm not accepting it. No.
And you remember the swamps?
Fuck yeah!
Remember the swamps?
We used to go to swamps and steal fucking those things to light so the mosquitoes would
Yeah,
go away.
remember that?
Punks, whatever the fuck that is. Where is the swamp?
It's gone now. It's the swamps all built up. There's hotels and shit. down
God
there.
damn it.
Where is the
theaters.
fucking swamp? Where was it?
It's down. Okay, you remember there used to be a motel down 39th Street. Once you pass Tunnelly Avenue, with that new buildings that we were talking about, you pass Tunnelly Avenue. You keep on going down before you get to the whole new
was in
development.
my neighborhood.
Yeah, down.
Yeah, I remember
just
that. We used to
half
go-
half a mile down, and that's the swamps right there. That used to be all swamps where Walmart is and all those box stores now.
But the swamp went like
It went from
behind Tunnelly Avenue. It went from down there all the way to Ridgefield Circle.
absolutely.
Because I used to ride my motorcycle.
Yeah.
All the way to Ridgefield
Oh,
Circle.
I got a story with you. Then you had a mini bike.
Yeah, the Dairy
I almost
Queen.
killed myself in the mini
Yeah,
bike.
the Dairy Queen.
Was it his mini bike?
In his mini, we were hanging out at McKinley School. I think it was John Bender, David, you, and me. We were hanging out, and you had your little mini bike. I had never gone on one. He said, "Get on it." And I go, "Come on." So I got on the mini bike, and I went down. There was a blue stone wall coming down the. You remember that ramp? Coming down the ramp, blue stone wall right there. I almost totaled that wall. I made the curve. I almost killed myself. Never. That was the last time I got on a bike. The last time I got on a motorbike.
I don't blame you.
I thought I was going to die. I had no control. I can't believe I turned the wheel and
I love my motorcycles. Dog, I had like 8 of them, and then I fell, and my mother sold it before I got back from the hospital. Cuban mom, don't even play. She took a loss on it. I took like a $300 loss on it. I didn't even get the $300. She just said, "No ma." That's it. Quickly. No family meeting. And, there was none of that shit.
Kids have it nice. They had nice lunches, breakfast. They have breakfast in school, lunches. You remember McKinley School, that little counter? It was 8 inches. It wasn't even a full foot. It was 8 inches in the basement, going gray. It was painted gray with that cement paint. Yeah, you remember
Battleship.
Gray? Yeah. All the way across the basement, where we ran track there. That's when we ran
that's
track
what we were
back and
saying
forth,
last
back
week.
and forth, back and forth. And we got a milk, we got a smoked juice, we got a soggy tuna, and sometimes an apple if you were lucky.
Mrs. Sabatino.
Yeah.
Anthony's mother was the cookie lady. She used to
Yeah.
always give me an extra.
But man, that tuna, man, nowadays I think about what the things that affect you when you were a kid. The kind of tuna the way I want the tuna to taste nowadays is the way we used to have it.
At McKinley. Yeah, me too.
It's crazy.
Me too. I love it. I fucking love
You know,
tuna.
like Jim, you talked about Barone at that gym.
Yeah.
I had a class right here. I forget what class that was. I forget where I was facing the window. I don't know if it was a Grestor's class or whatever. In the basement. We saw that. You remember when they built the Holiday Inn?
Yes.
Okay. So they started building the gym. Like a year before the Holiday Inn. They finished the Holiday Inn 2 years before they finished our gym.
2 years?
Money
gym
gets
was-
lost. The construction money was just getting lost.
Jesus.
It took like 3 years to build the gym. It was a box.
Holy.
In the meantime, they took away our blacktop in the back. You remember?
Yeah,
we
yeah,
played
they took the
basketball?
blacktop on the back.
It's crazy.
Fucking crazy. Do you still remember Carmine?
Yeah, I remember
With
Carmine.
Anthony?
Yeah,
and
yeah, I remember.
Frankie hit me up the other day. I got to give him a call. He hit me up for Thanksgiving, and I just sent him a text back.
Special. One of the Special brothers died, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, so you remember Dominic and
Yeah.
all those guys? Yeah, man. You were there.
Dominic was in school.
I've been trying to think, like, when the last time I saw you was. Like, McKinley, because after McKinley, a lot of kids disappeared. A lot of kids, just Martin. And then I bumped into Martin Perez 30 years later at the Miami Improv.
Yeah.
He came to see me. Goes, you remember me? I go, I never forgot you. I hung out with his uncle.
Yeah, he was a nice guy, man.
Oh, Martin was a fucking
We're
great guy.
friends on Facebook, whatever. Somehow we reconnected. David, I haven't seen him forever. He called me at one point in my office, and I don't know. I never called him back. I got to call
He's a
him.
good guy. He called
David's
me
a
the other
good-
day. He's back in town this week.
David's a good guy.
He's a good guy. All those
Montecito's a nice
guys
guy.
are still fucking very decent, man.
Special, all those guys were really cool. We were lucky, man.
We're very, and listen, when you tell these stories to people, they look at you and they go, he comes from a land that didn't exist. And I just moved back. I went to North Bergen a couple times. I looked around. It's my hometown. It's where I grew up. But that thing we had there is lost. And that's when I said to him, it wasn't North Bergen. It was a state of time. It was a state of mind. It was a state of mind for, all those teams were great then. Union Hill had a great football team and fucking basketball team. And Memorial always had something going on. There was always what do you call those things? A rivalry.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't beat each other up like college football this week, but there was always a rivalry, and it was just different. Now, some of these systems don't even have programs no more.
But kids don't play in the street anymore. In the corner 27th Street where I grew up, that little corner, but where Lourdes Ramos lived.
Oh my
and
God, that
Iris.
was pop. That was you, Arias.
Yeah. Yeah, Mario.
Pancho.
Man.
Pancho.
What a great guy, Pancho.
A bunch of us were there. I grew up on 38. But if there's a party on 26, that's where I'm going, Jack. Even
Pancho's a
before
great guy.
parties. We weren't drinking or nothing then. We were just being fucking crazy kids, man.
But we played everything in that corner.
Everything.
Stickball, football, wiffle ball.
Hockey.
Everything.
Fucking they hit you with
handball,
shit.
Handball. We used to throw a ball against the wall. I remember we used to call and play baseball. If you land a little high, it was it was a hit. Then it was a double, a triple, a home run. We hit against the wall where the liquor store was. Hit on that wall, and then David's window was right here. And sometimes his window, his mom used to open. What's his Edbita? Edbita was his mom's name. Edbita. And Benny, his dad. His sister Mimi. I've spoken to her a couple of times. Mimi.
Okay. Where's Mimi live?
In Florida, I think.
Florida. Yeah, they all went to Florida.
Yeah, they're great people.
It's crazy. A lot of kids we grew up with just tapped out and went to Florida.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Whenever I go to perform in Miami or Fort Lauderdale, I always see somebody that I haven't seen. Like, they'll come up and go, you remember me from Union City? I'm like, fuck no. But holy shit.
You have a great memory. You have a great memory.
No, I do.
You,
but
you remember everything. I
but
can't
there's
remember.
some people, listen, faces. Like when you
yeah.
come to me and say, hey, do you know Joey Chipotle? I know the name, but I got to see the face. I haven't seen the face in so fucking long that, I've forgotten a lot of people.
You remember Ralph Carey?
Fuck yeah, Elvis.
Yeah, he just performed in Union City for us.
Did he? Okay, he performs in North Bergen
Yeah,
too.
he's a good guy.
Good guy. He's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy as cat shit,
His
even when we were
his
kids.
girlfriend was the one that turned him on to doing that.
Yeah. But I think he was always an Elvis fan.
Yeah, I think so, right?
In fact, I'm going to have Levito on here in a couple weeks.
You're gonna have him on?
Mr. Levito.
Oh,
He's
okay,
still
that's-
around. He
oh,
lives
that's-
in Atlantic Highlands.
Oh, okay.
So I was thinking of putting him on here because what happened was this year, everybody in North Bergen started hitting me up on Facebook to see if I remembered where they put that fucking tube. Do you remember in 1976 we put some fucking tube together? With magazines?
Someone's following.
You mean a time
Yes.
capsule?
Huh?
A time capsule?
Time capsule. Yeah,
Okay.
someone contacted me on that too.
Yeah, and I called
I don't
Levito. I said,
remember.
let's get this over with.
Wait.
Let me call Levito up. I call Levito. I go, Mr. Levito, where's the fucking tube? He goes, it's right in front of the grammar school. Before you have to walk up those stairs.
Oh, really?
They put it in the one that the stairs go like this. So instead of going that way, Tell them how high those stairs were.
Oh my God.
You go to McKinley, walk up those stairs, and we had to shovel those fucking stairs. So
Before we finish, the one story I want to get your opinion or your memory on it, Lucio, is the cab company. The cab where the guy got like he was delivering stuff, like delivering drugs, and they killed him.
no, we're talking about Rapido Taxi.
Oh, Rapido Taxi.
The
Oh,
old days.
yeah, man. They killed that guy. Something happened. He ratted somebody out, and he was working with the cops. He was helping the cops take bribes or whatever. There was something going on. There's something going on there.
And they just killed him?
Because there was
And-
so much stuff involved. There was bribes involved. There was drugs involved. There was all kinds of. I don't know.
Is the same guy that we're talking about?
Yeah.
When I was a kid,
Yeah.
okay, he was an undercover cop. But he made a mistake. He went after the Cubans. He tried to shake them down without authorization.
Right.
And he started busting his balls, and he started getting a little crazy, and I guess he went to collect at Rapido Taxi one night, and they just fucking drilled him. But the guy that was in the passenger seat, he's still alive.
Oh, really?
And he tells the story that he couldn't get out of his seat. The bullets missed him.
Wow.
But I still remember going to McKinley and them acting weird. And then me getting home from McKinley and running up to my mother's bar, and I walk in and there's 30 fucking Cubans. Salud! The motherfucker's gone. And I'm like, oh, fuck!
No, that's what I'm saying about Archivato. You know, people stuck together.
to kill an undercover cop.
In Hudson Avenue, there used to be a bar. There used to be a bar in almost every corner. Yes or no?
Yes.
Almost every corner.
El
And everybody knew
Brindis,
each other.
Café
Yeah.
Latita, fucking the one on the corner, on the other side of the corner. In fact, I saw something on YouTube the other day about that area, 57th and Hudson, with, I don't know if you remember Nico.
Yeah.
Jose told me
Yeah.
they were talking about him and the whole fucking deal. But Union City just has a fucking tremendous, rich history that nobody knows.
You know Brian Stack remembers everything, everyone. One day he should write, when he retires from being a mayor, whatever, if he ever does, I don't think he'll ever retire, he should write a whole book on this, or he should do a film about the stuff that really happens, or happened
In Union City.
in Union City.
So he has all the history down. He remembers.
He remembers he's an encyclopedia, because he's been involved with politics since Musto. So he's seen everything and everyone. You know, he's seen everything go down. And he remembers everything. He's super smart. One of the smartest people I've ever met, Brian. If you ever spoken to him, he knows about everything. You talk to him about football, he knows about football. Talks about basketball, you know about basketball. Politics, law. He's incredible how smart he is. And he remembers everything about the whole Hudson County. Everything about Hudson County. The thing that corporation, everybody should read that book. Pretty much. I mean, Salim Valdivia is a commissioner with me. He says there's a couple of things that were not accurate because Salim's family also owned bars and stuff. The Valdivias, they're like
The Valdivias,
there's like
yeah.
10,000 of them, you know, in Union City. Yeah, it's one of the first. The Valdivias is one of the first Cubans that came to Union City, and they, you know, it's like a ton of them, and he remembers
Forgot
everything.
about that shit.
But the corporation, read the. I almost had the English.
TJ, yeah. He's
TJ.
going to come in a couple of weeks because now we got a situation going on where my 8th grade teacher, Wally Lindsay, he was the mayor of Weehawken.
Oh wow.
And then he got with the, why is the mayor of Weehawken teaching in a North Bergen school? What? You ever think about that?
But everybody.
So at the time, now that you think about it in hindsight, it had something to do with that waterfront, if you really think about it. And something happened over the years, and he got plugged down. So when he saw the TJ English podcast, he contacted me. And he goes, Battle opened up the door. That's why they all got arrested. Not that Battle was a rat.
Right.
He contacted his CIA people or whatever, some fucking story. And it goes all the way to what happened with Menendez last year. Something crazy. So they're going to come on and talk about it. Who the fuck knows what it is? He's going to bring his case on here, the whole fucking thing, and his attorney. So, and I'm going to bring TJ too. And we're just going to fucking hammer this. I have no dog in the fight. I don't even know what the fuck the argument's about, but they just want to talk about it. I don't fucking know.
I don't get into those conversations, political conversations.
No,
about, you know.
I don't know nothing about Union City. I know my mom had a bar there. I know some people got shot there. I know
You know, Castro was there.
I know Castro was there. I saw Cher,
Fred
and
Astaire.
Greg Allman,
Fred
Fred
Astaire. Fred
Astaire.
Astaire, Dan Astaire.
You know, I had some good fucking BLTs at the 5-Star Diner. I played for St. Michael's CYO, which till this day I take seriously. I picked St. Michael's. I could have gone to St. Fatima and all that shit, but I was like, I like St. Michael's. There was something about St. Michael's, plus Tommy Heinsohn went there. And that was my boy at the time, so I said, I got to play for St. Michael's. In fact, we're getting together with the coach, from my CYO coach, and fucking going to do a dinner at La Forte's.
Oh, that's great.
Steve Rubinaccio.
I don't know.
He was my coach there. But he had been there forever. He was a good guy. You know, he was part of the community. Steve Rubinaccio, and there was another guy, Steve Achardi or something like that. They were like parts of the community. They were Irish. They spoke Spanish. Yeah. When you fucking Italian, you speak Spanish. I still remember sitting with him on my block, and he worked for, Rubinaccio worked for ABC, for Good Morning America. So I would always call him up. Dog, when are you going to give me a job over there? I want to be an actor. He goes, Joey, what do you know? You don't even go to acting class. Acting class? I didn't know you had to go to an acting class. And that's the last time I talked to him in 85.
Wow.
And I went to eat dinner one night, and he was sitting at the table right across from me. The coach from St. Michael's coach. So we started talking and gave me his number, and he goes, call me, let's get together. So we're all going to go to dinner with Chucky and a bunch of the coaches. They could talk their problems out of it. Eddie Ford and all those fucking refs and shit.
St. Michael's, man. I did catechism there. And
Where?
In St. Michael's.
Oh, you did?
Catechism.
Now, how come we went to the other place?
I went to St. Michael's, and I don't know why my mom sent me to St. Michael's.
Because
for
we all
catechism.
got thrown out of St. Rocco's.
No, I went to St. Michael's.
What's the one on 30th Street? Right by the diner.
On 30th Street?
What's that church?
That's a Holy Family. That's
where-
Holy. That's
where
Holy
we
Family.
went for,
You went there for catechism.
yeah, because either you went to the ecology club. Remember, you got out of school at 1. You either picked the ecology club or catechism. I wasn't going to fucking pick up no trees. So I said, fuck it, let me go hang out. Let me go hang out with some fucking priests. And we lasted about a month, and he threw us out.
Well, it's like at St. Michael's, I never finished because you had the real nuns there, and I couldn't take it. I said to my mom, I'm not going back. On a Saturday, what was it, Saturdays or Sundays, whatever day we had to go, I said, I'm done. I'm not going back there.
Lucio, one more question. I know you're part of like a music troupe, but I haven't seen no videos.
No,
lately.
no, I was managing after I stopped acting and all that kind of stuff and doing films. I started to manage this band called Maxima Alerta, which is the #1 reggaeton band from Cuba. So the guy, the owner came, the father of the owner of the band, the director of the band, used to be my sound guy for the events in the city for 20 years. So before he died of cancer. He said, take care of my son. So I helped out his son. We regrouped the group here and cut out a bunch of records. And then, and just before COVID hit, we had a situation where someone appropriated some of our music, and we were taking them to court. We won, anyway. So my friend, and then my friend won the case, and he won all the awards, platinum, double platinum, gold album, Premio Lo Nuestro, everything. He won all the awards. They gave him the awards. They gave him the rights to the music. So he's waiting for his payday now because they gave him all the rights that he rightfully owned. So what happened was we started using the original members from Cuba. We started recording songs here and there and coming out with and editing their videos in Cuba, which is a penny per dollar, So we started doing all the production work over there, and then released the songs with him. And so I stopped performing because I was getting older. I didn't want to be jumping around like a monkey, doing that kind of music. I'm a Broadway guy. I'm not a reggaeton guy. You know what I mean? But I was the MC. I was good at MCing, so I was MCing, get the crowd going in Spanish and English and all that kind of stuff. So we were a real crossover. But then we started recording with the original guys in Cuba and just getting more into that whole reggaeton thing. And then the guys, now they left Cuba. So 2 of them left, and then two of them left, and then the other one's still here. Still my buddy, you know what I mean? But no, not cutting any albums or videos or anything anymore. That ship has sailed right from me.
And what are you the commissioner of?
I'm a commissioner of public affairs, so
Okay.
I run municipal court, veterans, seniors, cultural affairs, and the history department. So all the events that come out of Union City, it's pretty much my
Do you see
department.
Lefty at the school?
No, Lefty.
Cortina.
No,
He teaches at Washington.
no, I never see him.
Go to Washington. He's there.
I gotta look for
Is
it.
it Washington on 38 something?
38th Street. That's Washington School.
That's Washington. He
Oh,
teaches
wow.
at Washington.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Lucio,
Bas-
it was really good to fucking
Nah, it's
see
great
you.
seeing you, man. It's great
What were
being
you
here.
going to say? I'm sorry.
No, that's it. That's it. It was great seeing you. It's great being here.
You sure?
Absolutely.
You don't have to say anything?
No, I'm not saying anything. Lee, smack me inside my head.
Great to meet you, Lucio.
You have any questions for Lucio, cocksucker?
I'm still getting over a lot of shit. Mainly the guy who jumped in front of cars for a living and then he jumped in front of the wrong car. That's fucked up.
Dog, we had a guy. What was the guy that we were robbing trains and he jumped off the train and he got caught in his arm and he lost an arm?
Yeah. Who was
Dibby's
that? I
friend.
remember that.
Yeah, and he used to be a cab driver in the city. So if you ever get in a cab with a one-armed dude, he's from North Bergen, dog.
You had no idea the stuff that we
The
did.
stuff.
You had
it was
no
fucking
idea.
insane at that.
No idea.
When I first moved to North Bergen, it was scary. It was fucking scary.
Sounds
These guys
scary.
went down and robbed trains every day. These guys were 12. 12! And they're robbing fucking trains. How do you think I got that motorcycle? The motorcycles would come in a box, not built. You throw the boxes off, and then you had your brother come down and drive you later. And you could fucking, then you had to pull the box out of the weeds. That's 1,000 mosquito bites. And then fucking, that's how crazy. He reminded me of the swamps just now.
That's crazy.
That's
the
what they
swamps was
called
great.
it.
The swamps was the best place to hang out. The only beating I got from my mom was because I took my bike with a bunch of our friends and we rode down to the swamps, which is all the way. I mean, you're 10, 11 years old. That's a long way.
That's a long
Then we
fucking
took it all
way.
the way uptown, to whatever West End Avenue ends or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And then came back down. My bike kept on losing this chain because, and I made it home like at 10 o'clock at night. My mom was livid. Livid. I got the beating of my life. And my dad, you're gonna kill him. You're gonna kill him.
Your dad was saying that.
You're gonna kill
Holy
him.
shit.
I got one beating, man. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it.
Lucio, it was a real pleasure. I'm happy you came on
Same here,
to
man.
give the Union City some love because, like I said, I'm from North Bergen, but man, I got a lot of. My dad died in Union City. We had the bar for 20 years. They never signed my dad's death certificate. We'll have to talk about that, those motherfuckers. I never collected my insurance from Prudential. It's probably worth $10 million now.
Yeah, probably.
But they wanted me to go back to Cuba and dig him up and scrap his bones. I'm not doing that shit. That motherfucker's nothing. He's dust now.
For 10 million?
Well, it was a $500,000 policy in 1966. Do the fucking math.
Let's go. I'll do whatever you need me to do.
Well, you want to go to Cuba and
Yeah,
dig
tried
him
to
up?
go to Cuba and tried to dig up.
Dig him up.
People
But,
don't understand how Cuba is. People in this country don't understand how Cuba is living over there. When we left Cuba, we didn't leave only because of political reasons. There was nothing to eat. Times are tough. My mom comes from 16 brothers and sisters.
Damn.
What are you going to eat? So you're leaving because there's nothing to eat. You're leaving because, you're oppressed. And they humiliate you on the way out because you have to go work in agriculture, work camps and stuff like that. Then we go to Spain, spend a year in Spain sucking wind before you come here. Oh, man. People don't know the struggle.
the struggle is real, motherfucker.
The struggle is real.
Glad
The
you're here.
struggle
People
is
don't
not
know.
only real for Jewish people, but
yeah.
only for also for Cubans.
I had
Love
no
you,
idea.
Lucio.
Love you too, man.
I'm happy you got the time to come over and talk to me. It's good to see you. You're a big fucking thing in my childhood, I can't believe we're still here. You know what we all went through as kids and people fucking disappeared, but we're here slinging dick. Take care of
Absolutely,
it,
man.
model.
Absolutely.
Union City forever, cocksuckers. Don't forget we're adding some shows. I got the 11th of December at the Stress Factory, and I added the 17th open mic at Uncle Vinny's on a Tuesday night, just to keep working on material and doing stupid shit. Anything you want to talk about, Lucy?
That's it, man. You just
You
said
have
enough
nothing
stupid
coming
stuff.
up?
No, I got
Lee
nothing.
Syatt, what do you
I
got
got
coming
nothing.
up?
Next week, the 11th to the 14th, I'm with Josh Wolf and Tara Kenneth Stracy all over New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware.
There you go. If you live in Delaware, I know you got nothing to do. So, Biden's dead, and I don't feel so good myself. And, it's wintertime, so go catch my brother Lee Syatt. I love you, Lucio. Thank you for everybody being here today, and we'll see you next week. That's it. 3 weeks till Christmas. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. And that's it. Take a hike. I love you guys. Stay